The scientific criteria for an influenza pandemic have been met.
In the annals of medical history, few events loom as ominously as the specters of pandemics past. Long before the contemporary world grappled with COVID-19, humanity has been locked in a seemingly eternal struggle with infectious outbreaks that have shaped the course of civilizations. Today, we pull back the shroud of time to closely inspect the deadly outbreaks that rattled the world before our current pandemic's inception. Join us as we embark on a retrospective journey into 5 of the most devastating epidemics that humanity has ever faced. The tale begins in the heart of the 14th century, where the fearsome harbinger of death, known as the Black Death, emerged. As the scourge swept across medieval Europe, no corner remained unscathed by its virulent touch. Let us delve into the gritty details. An examination of its transmission, which saw fleas on rats acting as unwitting vectors, ferrying the plague to all reaches of the continent. It was a macabre ballet of death, with symptoms so brutal and unforgiving that they seared themselves into the collective memory of mankind forevermore. But what of the social turmoil it incited? The sheer loss of life was staggering, with tens of millions succumbing to the pestilence. This wasn't just a health crisis, it was a societal upheaval that saw the very fabric of medieval society reshaped. Its legacy is one of grim resilience, offering a cautionary chronicle of what happens when a disease runs rampant through an unprepared population. The Black Death is a foundational lesson in the importance of public health practices, a lesson we continue to grapple with in modern times. Next, if we travel further along the timeline to the 20th century, the phantom of the Spanish flu materializes. Emerging amidst the embers of World War I, this strain of H1N1 influenza ensued in a silent massacre that tightroped the globe, leaving an estimated 50 million dead in its wake, far exceeding the toll of the war itself. As we scrutinize this grim episode, we should note the paradox of the world's transient jubilation at war's end. Quickly stifled by a plague no armistice could halt. It is the tale of humankind's headlong crash into a hidden viral nemesis, unseen yet palpably felt across continents. The recounting of such epic calamities might appear distant, like echoes of a bygone era, yet they remain startlingly relevant today. Their stories are etched into the DNA of our societies, a somber refrain of the vulnerability within the shared human experience. The discourse on these seismic events is designed to illuminate the intricacies of each historical epidemic, merging the factual rigor of medical investigation with the poignant stories of those who lived through the harrowing darkness. As we navigate this tapestry of past plagues, we will intersperse our exploration with vivid descriptions, using the rich visual language to evoke imagery strong enough to penetrate through the medium of video to touch upon your imaginations. Imagine, if you will, the ghostly, empty streets of pandemic-stricken lands, or the urgent hustle within makeshift hospitals, scenes mirrored in past and present annuals alike.
This is the main hospital in Bergamo, in Lombardy province. It's one of the most advanced hospitals in Europe.
Before we proceed further into our deep dive, we invite you to join us on this quest for knowledge. If you find value in this exploration of history's most formidable outbreaks, consider subscribing to stay updated with our continuous crusade to unravel the mysteries and lessons hidden within humanity's past trials and tribulation. Together, we forge not only understanding, but armor against the tide of future pandemics. Pressing on with our exploration, we traverse the expanse of decades to alight upon the Asian flu of 1957. With the world caught in the taut grip of the Cold War, an unexpected antagonist in the form of the H2N2 virus, slinked onto the global stage. Emerged from avian sources, it mutated with a quirk of viral evolution that enabled human transmission, ultimately claiming more than 1 million lives. Again, humanity was tasked with mounting a swift defense against an insidious, microscopic foe. By documenting the confluence of socio-political elements with the spread of disease, we glean crucial insights into how international relations influence and are influenced by public health emergencies. And yet our story does not pause here. Instead, we venture into the heart of the 1980s, where a new shadow fell upon the world: HIV/AIDS. This modern plague, which persists even now, introduced a novel form of devastation, slow, insidious, and deeply stigmatizing for those affected. Here, the disease stories intertwines dramatically with human behavior and societal attitudes.
And most businesses to shut down. Curfews are back, as are checkpoints, requiring travel passes for commuters.
Revealing a different facet of the global health tableau. With a focus on community impact, we underscore the triumphs and ongoing struggles within this fight, a battle waged in both laboratories and the broader cultural landscape. It becomes clear, as our account unfurls, that the chronicle of human encounters with infectious agents is an endlessly complex tapestry. Each thread of outbreak is deftly woven with the scientific advancement and personal pathos, an interplay that yields profound transformations in public health and policymaking. This is more than a history lesson. It is a clarion call to remain vigilant, adapt, and compassionate in the face of potential future health crises. Bringing us closer to the present day, we cast an analytic eye towards the 2009 H1N1 influenza pandemic, commonly dubbed swine flu. Parallels to earlier plagues abound. Yet this story is marked by the enhanced response capabilities of our contemporary era. The rapid development of vaccines and decisive, coordinated public health interventions mark this chapter of pandemic history. The specter of H1N1 illuminates the path of progress and also lays bare the obstacles yet to be surmounted in the realm of global health security. In traversing this landscape of past pandemics, we hope to engender a dialogue that resonates beyond the limitations of hindsight. What lessons can be culled from these recurrent motifs of human endurance and biological incursion?
So they could turn them into temporary quarantine facilities, all in the name of a war against a resurgent COVID.
How do we adequately honor those lost by ensuring their plight informs a more fortified tomorrow? If you have insights to share or wish to partake in this discourse, we encourage you to add your voice to the conversation below. Engage through a comment to contribute to a collective repository of understanding and remembrance. As we draw this temporary close, mindful that a story on global health is never truly closed, we linger upon the resilience embedded in humanity's response to these outbreaks. It is resilience that underscores our capacity for renewal and our persistent march toward a future where such calamities are but memories, cautiously enshrined and never forgotten. Stay tuned, for as we pause here, ready to delve deeper into each of these historical scourges, our dedication to unraveling history's teachings on health, survival, and unity perseveres, compelling us ever onward.